What is up, everybody? How's everybody doing?
Hey everyone. So good to see all of you here.
Thanks so much for being here, everybody. We are super excited about tonight. The second trial I ever live stream was Zach's trial, and when it first came up in my feed, it said the nasty neighbor trial, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And we watched it, and we learned that the nasty neighbor was not, in fact, Zach. So I'm so excited that he is here. And without further ado, let me bring on our special guest. Hey, Zach,
Doing
how you doing?
doing good.
Thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. I was thinking for this entire time, we have heard from everyone else about you, Zach, but we haven't heard from you. So, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, where you're from, where'd you grow up, where'd you grow up, what are some of your interests? Let the people know about you, Zach.
Well, I was born in Bridgeton, New Jersey. I lived there till I was about 10. My mom was in and out of the jail system, so I never really grew up with a mom. I lived with my dad, my stepmom, who interesting to say the least. Then we moved to Florida. I did middle school and part of high school in Florida, and that's when I met my wife, and we decided that we were going to get married so I could, get out of my house. My house was, very abusive and wasn't a good place to grow up. So that's why I joined the army and I moved back to New Jersey. And I was in Jersey for about a year and a half. And then, you know, the case happened.
Right. So, well, tell us about like your interests. You're into cars, right? What do you do with what do you have like a you have a, by the way, guys, we have the link in the chat for Zach's TikTok and his Instagram. So, guys, put them in there. They've already put them in there, Zach. So we're gonna help you out.
Okay.
We've also put in his Cash App, guys. If you Shannon just put it in there. If you want to help Zach out, that's his Cash App. So, one thing I wanted to bring up, I watched your TikTok, and you play a song. You did a TikTok with the song that we use when people are lying, and that's this song.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop you fucking lying.
And you were talking about you're on TikTok and you're on Instagram, and you're seeing all the lies about you. So I'm curious if you could tell us what are the biggest lies and misconceptions that are out there about you that you can like set the record straight about.
I think the biggest lie that really gets me is that I did it for TikTok fame. You know, this makes absolutely zero sense.
Yeah. I've fought with a lot of people. I don't know if you saw my TikTok, but I have your clips up, and I'm in. We're me and the group here, our group that we call J-Bo Nation, are in the trenches there fighting these people that they didn't even watch the trial, and yet they're going based off these headlines and stuff at Zach, the TikTok, the nasty neighbor. It's so ridiculous. I mean, like you would do something like this, which essentially ruined your life for how long to get TikTok famous. I mean, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
And then for 3 years, I had a gag order on me, so I couldn't even speak out online, which the news and media just ruined me.
Why? So tell us about the gag order. Why? What? When did that come down? Why did they do that?
They put a gag order on me as part of my pretrial release conditions because they said I had too big of a social media presence and that if I spoke, I could incite violence or, what have you, which is bullshit.
Complete bullshit. Um, Babe, I
They
know
just
if
didn't want telling the truth. The family went all over the news, YouTube interviews, the whole 9 yards. They were slandered and defamed me.
Yeah. Well, the GoFundMe had quite the story in it that was not true at all.
I don't even know how they got away with that. They
I
blatantly
don't
lied
either.
for money.
Yeah. And so with the gag order, I can't even imagine, Jay and I have both been through custody trials and you can't say anything online. That was really hard for me to not tell the 100 people that might have been talking bad about me, but you had so many people saying things about you and you could not speak. What
So
did you do? What did you do to get through it?
a lot of meditation. I had to just get off of social media because every time I'd go online, it was a death threat, or I should kill yourself, or messed up shit
That's
from.
awful. What? Sorry, go ahead. I couldn't hear you. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, it's just a lot of messed up shit from people who don't even know what's going on. They just, listen to one side.
Right, and they just see the headline, TikTok for TikTok
Yeah.
fame and nasty neighbor. When was like the first time you heard like all of a sudden like this happens? When's the first time you start hearing about the nasty neighbor and the tick? Like, do you
Oh,
remember when you first heard about that?
yeah, it was actually the first day I got out of jail, and they released me on pretrial. I remember my ex wife showing me the phone, and she's like, "You might want to type your name in Google." I'm like, "Why?" And I did it, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
And you can't escape it,
I
right?
couldn't believe it. Yeah, it's TikToker, murders correctional officer for TikTok fame.
Brutal, brutal. So then the case starts, and what I want to know is, tell us about when you first met Christine. I sent you the interview. We had Christine on. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Tell me what it was like when you first met her and dealing with her. How was that? By the way, this is public defender Christine Long, who was Zach's attorney. Tell us about meeting with her and what that was like.
Oh, initially I had just Nathan Perry, but throughout the course of my trial, Christine hopped on the case, and she was a godsend. Both of them were. She was late night. She stayed up rehearsing and researching, and did a lot of work. A lot
You
of
know,
work.
her we saw her closing, and it was one of the best closings we've ever seen in your case, and you could just tell how much she cared for you and the passion that she had for the case. So I'm sure that must have, when you saw her up there, that must have make you feel good to see her have that passion.
Yeah, she's a really good lawyer.
um
You could tell that she cared a lot about you.
Yes, they both did very much.
so
We spent years together, so
Yeah.
yeah, how long was that you guys were like working together?
3 years,
Three
just about.
years
Uh,
That's
Turned 19, 21 behind the wall.
Wow. And that's one thing I wanted to ask you about. How, after when they confronted you, how many days was that after your 18th birthday?
See, I turned 18 on the 20th, and I believe I caught the case on the 5th. 2 weeks, I was 18.
2 weeks. So I mean, to me, it was clearly planned. They were waiting for you to be 18 because, like,
You
you
can
know,
clearly hear in the, oh, you're 18 now.
yeah, exactly. Oh, he's 18 now. Get him, get him. I mean, her voice must just haunt your. It haunts our nightmares. I mean, do you hear
Just,
her voice all the time?
yeah, it aggravates me because, believe it or not, Timmy wasn't a bad guy. It's his wife that, you know, gassed him up and lied to him for no reason, and, sent him on a dummy mission.
Riled
You
them
know,
up,
it's,
clearly riled them up, clearly, we have a famous clip is when Christine asks, were you drinking? And she says, probably nothing. And we're all like,
yep.
yeah, you were definitely, which means definitely something. So, uh,
He was legally drunk, which, the prosecution didn't want Christine, sneaking that in, so she just, snuck it in.
she was really awesome. Speaking of just the trial and everything, what was like the decision? Did you want to testify? Like, what was that like? Talking to them, like, was that something you thought about for a while, or you spoke? What was the decision making process like for deciding if you wanted to testify?
I actually wanted to testify because I felt like, it would help, but, then the prosecution had free will to, you know, say whatever. And, I fought really hard to get my TikTok videos thrown out because they were just trying to paint me as some arrogant, asshole kid. And even the judge called him, the prosecutor, out. He was like, if that's your argument, you can't use that at trial. So if I would have took the stand, he would have been able to bring up my TikTok videos.
Speaking of the judge, what did you what did you think about the judge? He uh he he has appeared like some crazy eyes, like, and also, what's the deal in the courtroom? They, like, was it like 1,000 degrees in there? What was the deal with that?
Oh yeah, the air conditioning turned off for a couple of days, and I remember one day I tried to wear like a golf shirt, and Christine Christine sent me back and told me to put on my suit.
I would have been dying. I would have been, the sweat would have been dripping off me. I would have said, I would have been like, I'm out of here. I can't handle. I can't imagine with it being that hot in there. Babe, you're gonna say something?
I was just gonna say that we rank judges on our channel, and he didn't have a very high rating. He kind of had a high rating, but then we all were not happy with the way that he spoke to you at the end of the trial.
Yeah,
Um, it was just, it left a bad taste in my mouth because, of course, like, there's no winners or whatever. That was self-evident. And then for him to take that
right.
moment to say that to you, it was just, it felt really icky. And I just wanted you to know, I've sat and heard a judge say things to me before, and so I know that it weighs on you. And I hope you know that a lot of people felt that that was out of line, and that is not the you that they saw.
Yeah,
Absolutely, and just so you know, everyone in this chat, we all have your back. I know you probably see nothing but people, pulling you down and negative comments. Please don't let them weigh down. If someone actually watched this trial, they wouldn't think that way. And everyone in here loves you, and we have your back, and we're sharing your stuff, and we're always going to have your back. So I hope the negative comments don't weigh you down. Try to. I know it's hard. Trust me, I'm on there and I'm getting stuff all the time. You got to, brush it off, and just know that
yeah.
it wasn't you. And by the way, we could just tell, we saw you in the interrogation room, and you had, did you have a broken bone in your ankle or your foot, or you hurt your foot
Had,
and you're go ahead.
yeah.
What's that?
I sprained, I believe, both of my ankles.
And you still offered your seat to one of the detectives who was in there, and we were just like, and just, by the way they treated you in that we saw the video, just absolutely awful and like unacceptable.
Well,
And
the I feel like a reason they made this case so drawn out is because you know the Durham family would constantly call the cops on me at least 4 times a week. So the police department is getting called to my house for no reason. So you know, cops, they didn't want to respond because every time they came, I would just put them online. Why are you guys harassing me?
right.
So when I caught the case, this was their moment to say, oh, now we got him.
Which, by the way, if he's not a corrections officer, does this case even go forward? I don't think so. I don't even think
Yeah,
Christine thought so. So that's kind
it,
of,
that's all it was.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Uh,
they really were able to co-opt that Back the Blue movement at that point in time was really big. And so they
So
just kind of sucked into that.
what
And
bothered, and I don't know if you guys know this, but they had a parade for him in our
n-
city,
no,
and they honors.
we did not know that.
That that
Wow.
made me.
So they had to pray for him. What'd you say? What, with they bestowed him with honors? You said.
Yeah, they buried him with honors, gave his family a folded flag. Like I couldn't believe it. I was sick to my stomach.
Wow.
Yeah,
Um, and some people are putting in the chat here, when we watched the verdict, we were all like so invested in this case, and we were just like, please, please, please come back with a not guilty. I shed a few tears on the stream for the first time. I started, the folks in there shed tears, and we really were invested. I'm curious to know, the night before the verdict, do you sleep that night? What's going through your head?
I really didn't sleep the whole week I was going to trial. I was just up studying and you know stressing. It was That was probably the scariest thing I ever did was going to trial. I
Yeah.
almost didn't. I almost took a plea, but
Really?
I knew if I took a plea that my family would never get rest. You know, they'd always get harassed, and I had a really good chance of getting seriously hurt by the guards down in prison.
Wow. What was? Can you tell? Like, what was the deal?
They were trying to get me to take 5 years.
Wow. And you almost took it. Huh? And is that something you talked to like Christine
Yeah,
about, and like you just decided that this is not the case to do that?
yeah. They talked me out of it. They said that you know, they told me any lawyer that tells you they can 100% get you home is full of shit.
Right.
But they feel confident that I'll be able to beat my case, and they did.
I'm so glad that they did. Did you have something, babe? You had a question, I think.
There, a few people were saying the Cash App didn't work. So, but then somebody said that the one that I posted did work. So hopefully,
It's
guys,
Zach Latham 2986, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. If you put in the dollar sign, or you just go in the app and put ZACHLATHM 2986, uh, that will work. Um, but here's a question I have for you. What was your thought when you turned that corner? You're in your car. You're going to go home. You turn that corner, and that you see that truck blocking the road. What? I can't imagine.
My my first thought was just, oh shit, here we go again.
I mean, they had never blockaded you before, right? Like where you couldn't get out of the way.
Um, the Suns attempted to when I had my Corvette. He tried to rip me out of it. I don't know if you've seen my old TikTok videos.
Yes, we saw the one where he comes up to you in the car.
Yeah,
So,
but that was blocked it.
someone asked what. So, what are your future plans?
Right now, I'm just trying to keep my head above water. Right now, right now I'm living out of a hotel, trying to buy a car. I got a little job right now, but you know, it's hard. You know, a lot of my families, they either died or they don't talk to me because of the case.
Really?
Yeah,
Why? Like they just don't want to. They don't want the case. Just they don't want to deal with that and talk with you about that.
yeah.
That really sucks, man. I'm
Too
sorry.
much bullshit surrounding me.
Well, I'm telling you, you have all of our support. So, you know, just don't forget that. And I'm sure people you don't
I
have
mean,
Venmo. You don't have Venmo, just the Cash App, right?
yeah,
Okay. And you're in Florida now, right? Someone asked if you're in Florida now, right? So I know you. So what you have your official TikTok, and then you have the one. So what is the racing one? What is that? What do you do on that?
oh, I'm just post racing videos and stuff.
All right, let me share that now so that the folks have it.
You have a lot of people in the chat that say that if you want family, you have it. So
Thank you.
And
a
by the
It
way,
lot,
means a lot.
go ahead.
a lot of us got to we felt really attached to you. I know that sounds so bizarre, but just from watching you every day and seeing your facial expressions in such a trying time, a lot of us, especially those of us who are moms, feel very much like we want to give you a hug and be your mom. But um,
Yeah.
so we just want you to know, and everybody in the chat wants you to know that you have family. If you want chosen family, you can talk to anybody that sends you a Cash App, and they'll they'll talk back to you.
Yeah, and
I
one.
think the hardest.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I think the hardest thing was my nonna died while I was locked up, and
Oh,
the case really messed with her because she watched it happen,
right.
and for an elderly person to watch their grandson go through that, it really messed with her, and you know she tried to cope with it, and just messed her up.
Right. You know, and
And they wouldn't even grant me a photo to go.
they wouldn't let you go. That's
Nope.
awful. What a the way they treated you, just absolutely awful. And just with the media, you know, like we were saying before, they're talking about the nasty neighbor, the TikTok, and we're watching you in trial, and especially the video where you know they're showing you the incident, and you can't even see it. Like you don't want to see it because it's obviously affecting you.
Yeah,
And meanwhile, these people are like, you're
they
doing this for TikTok likes. I mean, you don't want to see that, right? Like that's not something you want to
yeah.
see. I mean, we could tell it.
The thing that bothered me, which this is one of the reasons I wanted to, take a stand, but Christine told me not to, was I was already relatively famous before my case. So for them to say I wanted to kill someone for fame, it kind of baffled me because I'm like, well, I kind of am. I don't have to murder someone and ruin my life.
Right.
Right. Have you
No,
been in contact with Christine? Do you guys stay in contact, or since it you know
I haven't yet. I've only been out for about 6 days.
6 days? Oh, okay.
Just got out Friday night.
Wow. Well, we're so glad that you're out, and we're so glad that you're hanging with us now. Are you still get? I mean, since here's a question. So you've been out for 6 days. You got any shit from online from maybe maybe some people who were involved in the case, or what?
I've had a couple members of the family attempt to reach out to me.
Through like TikTok, or
Facebook trying to message me.
I hope you block them all.
Yeah.
Is it true, by the way, after the case, you were trying to work and they were harassing your where you were working at the time? We heard a rumor is
Yeah.
that true?
Mike Gallagher actually called my job when I was working at Infinity in Fort Myers, and he tried to play that he was a quote unquote concerned citizen. And he said, "Oh, you have a murderer working for you. You need to fire him." And word got out, and I lost my job.
Damn, that is awful. By the way, guys, he was the head of the union, right? He was in the
Yeah,
at the
he was the head of the Police Benevolent Association. He has a lot of pull with the officers.
just brutal. So what? So the Florida case is that's done now. That's they were asking. That's over with.
I'm I'm still waiting for the charges to be dropped because, you know, the person who said I did something, now saying, well, yeah, nothing really happened. Leave me alone.
Really? Well, that's good news. So
Yeah,
they're gonna. So it looks like they're gonna drop the charges.
yeah, the police here, they set me up here just because they recognize me. I never did anything.
Awful.
The cop,
Oh,
someone mentioned to the police officer that I was the guy from New Jersey who killed the cop. And the cop looked me up, looked at a picture on Google, and was like, yeah, hands behind your back.
so as right live real time, he looks that up, and that's why. Oh my god, I didn't know that.
And I tried to record the officers as soon as I got out of my car because I knew, me being me, anything could happen. And they pulled a gun on me, told me to put the phone away or they'd shoot me.
Holy shit, dude, you have been
So,
so rail. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, they wouldn't let me record
Which is
because
illegal,
if I,
no?
yeah, it's illegal.
That is awful.
Do you worry about that still?
I have a fear of police officers now. Anytime I see one, I just feel like I'm going to have a anxiety attack.
I'm sure.
Well, from your case, we told people because I know you went into that interrogation and you just wanted to tell the truth and you just wanted to get your story and tell them exactly what you did. You told the truth. You didn't lie.
Yeah,
But like we tell people, because we have a lot of defense attorneys that we talk to, don't talk to people. I'm sure in the future you would never say anything. Ask for your
yeah.
lawyer. So that's a
I just
lesson.
wrong. So I'm like, I have it on video.
Sending love. We got
It was,
we got love from the United Kingdom. We got a bunch of people from the United Kingdom who got your back. We got people from all over the United States who have your back. So I just hope you realize that.
Well, maybe if you have a second to check your Cash App to make sure that you have pending ones, we think that um, they
If I
somebody
for
might have. Okay,
help me out,
Jay, we're wondering if somebody reported it.
let me see.
Thanks for being here, everybody. Zach's just gonna check now. But like he said, if you guys could follow him on Instagram, follow him on TikTok, I know he'd appreciate that. Snapchat. Yeah, if you could hit that like button, that would help us.
So Shelly got a message that said that this might be a fraudulent Cash App. So basically, somebody had reported it.
Okay, if he's not getting it, guys, this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna send me the Cash App. You're gonna put in the message it's for Zach, and I'm gonna take all that money and I'm gonna send it to Zach. So if you guys can't, he's just checking now. If you guys can't, you have my Cash App. It's the shaming it. Just wait. Um.
And okay, so
Oh, he's
somebody's
accepting it. He's accepting it. Okay.
okay. Hopefully,
I think he's accepting it now, guys. So just hold
okay.
on a second.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can't see you. Yo, what's up, Steve?
Um, no, I might have to redo the link.
That's all right. You could do that.
Yes, yes. If you guys, yes, absolutely. If you guys see that, if you
Hello?
guys in the chat,
Hey,
hey, if you guys for don't have Cash App or you have Venmo or whatever, and you don't want to do Cash App, oh, Brad said he just got a text that his Cash App was refunded. But here's what we're gonna do. They can do that all they want. We will get you. So
I'm gonna put my link tree in. You want to send me through. Just put it in the note. It's for Zach. I'm putting it in here. I have Venmo. Let me pin this in here. I have Venmo. I have PayPal. I have Cash App. Put in the note. It's for Zach, and I will forward every. We'll figure out. I guess that maybe it's a new account, and they're not. Whatever it
Yeah,
is, just put it in the note, and I'll get it to you, Zach. Don't worry. You know, you can trust me. We're good people. We're gonna get you the money. So just put in the note. It's for
appreciate
Zach. Yeah, no problem. We got you. Trust me, we got you when I tell you we got you. So guys, yeah, put in the note it's for Zach. Venmo, PayPal. You guys know I got everything. If they refunded you, send it to me. It's going to Zach. I'll get it all together, and we're gonna fucking support Zach because he's got enough shit that he's had to deal with, and he's not gonna get it from Cash App. We're gonna get this man his money, okay? Uh, Whatever we got to do, we're gonna get him the money. If I have to send him a check, I'll send him a check. I don't give a shit. We're gonna get Zach his fucking money. Um,
take a road trip and
we'll
we'll bring
drive down there. I don't give a
back
shit.
the cash, Zach.
it.
Uh,
It kind of froze for a second. Can you hear me?
yeah, we
Yeah.
can hear you. We were just saying, no matter what it takes, I'll fucking drive down there. I'll take a fucking plane. We're gonna get you the money. We're gonna take care of you. You've gone through enough shit that we're gonna take care of you. So, oh, I just got one that said Zach accepted it. All right, so I think some of them are going through and some of them aren't. So if they don't, send it to me.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's like 5 or 6 I saw that said it was refunded for my security.
oh. Well, it
Yeah,
might
and
be
that's
just
so
because it's you just made the account, right? It could be just
yeah.
because you have a new account. All right, here's a good question from Elizabeth Dell. Zach, what do you wish we knew about the case or about your life that maybe people don't know? What do you want to tell people about yourself? Well, I think you might have froze. Zach, you there? I think we got a little.
Lag.
Yeah, it probably was, guys. It was probably um, a new account getting a lot of guys. My PayPal is the shaming of Jay. Everything is the shaming of Jay. Zach, I don't know if he knows he's frozen or he might have. By the way, guys, thanks so much for being here and thanks so much for supporting Zach. Anything you send um, to me that's for Zach, I'm gonna send to him. Know that. We want to support him. I think he just, I don't know if his phone died or if oh,
Maybe he'll try to call back.
he might try to call back. Let's wait and see. I guess he's coming back. He's muted. Zach, we're here if you're there, Zach. Of course, guys. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate everyone being here, and I hope that that we can support him and he sees that we have his back. I think he's just trying to get himself. Oh, there's Bob Opedic. AI strikes again. By the
That's a
way,
great comment by Cultivated Essentials. It says the interview confirmed what a nice and polite person he is. It's so true.
So true. We could tell just by watching him and just by watching his interrogation that he's a good guy. And now, we have confirmed that. He's on, but I don't know if. Thanks, JD. You guys are awesome, by the way. If you got a refund, just send it to me. I promise you, we will get it to him. I think we may have lost him though. I'm not sure. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here with us. Let me just check on. Maybe he sent a message on Instagram. Let me just check. No, I think he may have disconnected. We'll keep it up. Yeah. By the way, guys, he's been working all day, so you're a good point, Laura. He's probably retired from that too. But I'll keep it up for a couple minutes and see if he can sign back on. He was very composed, and yeah, if you can like his, follow him on his TikToks, and if I saw other people doing it, and I do it. There are people coming in his comments giving him shit. We got his back, right? I mean, if they're coming, I know I see you guys defending him on his TikTok and on my comments and stuff. So, thanks for being here, Corey. All right, his phone may have died. I'm not sure. You guys could. He's in a, he's in a hotel. I think he was in a. I'm not sure if he was like in a restaurant or something. But let me just see.
Legal Mama, he was just released in Florida because they're dropping the charges because basically the cops, he was saying the cops Googled him basically on the spot, pulled him out of the car and held him at gunpoint. And then, at that point in time, I believe the pro Durham faction was saying that they were upset that he had bonded out. They were mad that he wasn't behind bars. And so they were trying to do anything in Florida to mess up his life there. They were calling his place of business, pretending to be concerned citizens and saying, you have a murderer working for you. You have to fire him. Oh, yay, he's back.
There we go. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
All right, go awesome. So I think what do we leave it on? Was there anything that he wanted to about, or did we get to that, or did we? I forgot.
Oh, we didn't. He froze right when the question from Elizabeth L. about what do you want us to know about your case or your life?
That didn't come out.
That didn't come out.
Anything. What do you want the people to know about you, Zach? About the case or about you? Anything you want to talk about? Let us know. All these people in here are so happy you're back.
There's
Go ahead.
a common misconception that was fed throughout the media, which I found kind of funny at first, but you know, it was that I grew up with like a silver spoon in my mouth. That I just came from money, and that which isn't the case.
All right, folks. So that's one thing that he wanted to know. You guys have any other questions that we didn't go? I know that people are going to be sending me the money, and we'll figure it out. Hopefully, the Cash App will, start working, and we'll definitely forward it over to you. Did you guys have any other questions that we didn't go over, or anything, Zach, you wanted to talk about? What's his Instagram? Let me get the Instagram in here. Hold on. It's official _ C6ZAACH. Let me throw it in here. Oh, Kelsey already got it. Thank you. One theory we had since you were in Jersey is that it was so hot in the courtroom because they have tanning lights in there because you got to do gym tan laundry in Jersey Shore. But that's why it was so hot in the courtroom. I can't believe it. I mean, that must have been just brutal to be sitting. What's that?
I feel like they did it on purpose
to sweat you out, just to make everyone uncomfortable.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask you: what was it like when you had your friend up there on the stand? Because I could tell you were kind of trying to it looked like you were kind of trying to make a little eye contact with them. But what was it like to have your friend up? And the second day, by the way, he looked like he was hungover. It was in the morning, and that he did not want to be there. What was it like to have him up there?
It was interesting because he was supposed to be working with the prosecution,
right?
And he worked against them.
Right. That was very clear that he was like, why did they think that he would be on their side? Uh-oh, I think he might have froze again.
And then they tried to call my wife, my ex-wife, but she refused to testify.
Can you believe that they tried to do that?
They threatened her and made her come all the way to New Jersey.
Wow.
He was traumatized enough already too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw. We have. By the way, we completely agree that she was a Karen. We have top Karen moments. Can you believe how angry she was on the stand and that she accepted a zero responsibility? Could you believe that? We were blown away that zero, nothing. I feel like if she would have went up there and been like, I'm sorry this happened, people might have resonated with her, but there was zero accountability that she may have had something to do with it. I mean, were you expecting that?
Yeah, it really proved my point.
It sure did.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Just break it up a little bit. We can hear you.
Yeah, she pretty much pointed just a miserable Karen.
Yeah, she lived up to that name, and if it's not for her, this doesn't happen. Like you said, you didn't even think that that Timmy was that bad, but she just riled him the fuck up. And then
I never had a problem with him.
You never, right? And then she's like, "Oh, well, there's the video of Zach swerving at the kids," and then that just never. All of a sudden, they don't have that video, that key piece of evidence that never happened. Right, exactly. Some folks are asking, what do we got here?
I felt like when you said, so in that moment, you said, I didn't try to hit you, man. You said to the son, you were like, I wasn't swerving at you. And I think he was like, no, I didn't. I think that she just made it up.
Yeah, he got to correct himself.
Yeah.
And that's when the mom started to get in my face because she realized what he just said on camera.
Right.
Right. And then, oh, did you hit me? Did you hit me when you clearly were just trying to, because she was literally almost put her freaking head in your car.
Even if I did hit her, at that point, I would have had every right to.
Right. I mean, she's charging you coming in your space. Literally, her head is in the car. You could see.
Yeah.
And by the way, thank Larry. Thank the fact that your ex-wife had the video. That video.
Yeah.
even though Stupid was videoing it too and just proving, what a nightmare that was.
Yeah.
What did you think about when Christine? She said it was accidentally. I don't know. What did you, when she said when she said Karen? Did you think that was on accident?
That was during the trial. She said it, and I tried not to laugh because I know what she was doing because you know it worked. Whether it was accidental or on purpose, that's the world may never know.
Yeah. I mean, she told us it was on accident, so I'm going to take her word for it. By the way, I don't know if you
Yeah.
watched her interview. She's awesome, and she clearly, if you have a chance, take a look at it. She clearly, cared for you and really, had your back. Here's we got a question from Bob Matta, who is also a defense attorney. Welcome home. I'm a longtime criminal defense attorney. Why don't you try to explain just exactly how terrifying the entire process, like the process was for you, once you get arrested? And what is that like to go through that? What's that process like for you?
To be arrested and have my charge is fucking. It's like the worst possible thing you could have. I've had COs, you know, try and do stuff to me. I've had COs pay people to do stuff to me. I had my elbow broke, stabbed in my bicep.
Wow.
It was really bad, and I couldn't even say anything because if I do, you know, that's just something you don't do in jail.
Right. And then what about just like the process of waiting for, like, you're getting offered the plea deal and just waiting to get your day? Like, what is that like to have to wait for that day?
It's a big stress, not just on me but on my family. It's just the uncertainty.
Right. And it took, and I mean, 3 years, right? That's a long time to pause. You're an 18-year-old man, and then you just to for 3 years to just, and like you said in your TikTok, your life was ruined, right? I mean, you can't get that time back.
Yep.
Let me just see if there's all right. Looks like a lot of folks are following you, so that's good. They wish they could give you a hug. Uh,
in a non creepy way.
yes.
That's another
So
thing I'm used to, people being around me. I jail. I got really bad PTSD.
Yeah.
so it's hard to get back into just and to go into the flow of things, right? I mean, that's got to be tough
Yeah,
for you.
weird.
So what's the plans? Are you just like kind of looking to save up some money and get a place at this point in Florida? Is that the plan, or?
Um, I'm really just probably just gonna wait until I'm allowed to leave and my Florida case is done with, and probably gonna move back to New Jersey. You know, it's where the little family I have left is.
Okay.
You know, I have a couple, ex girlfriends and my ex wife, and a couple friends I went to high school with, but other than that, you know, I'm on my own out here.
Do you have any ideas about like any like a career or anything that you kind of want to pursue once you get this
Um,
behind you?
I was tempted to maybe re-enlist, but the army did me so dirty when I initially called the case. It kind of just turned me off.
Yeah.
They didn't offer any help, nothing. They just said, "Oh yeah, he's discharged."
Wow. We have Shelly, who's a therapist. She'll do free therapy work if you want to talk to her. She's got your back, and
She's
she's really good. So
Yeah,
like seriously, let us know if we got a
yeah.
lot of support here. So if you need anything, you just let us know. People are gonna follow you. People are gonna send you messages and kind words from this group here. Uh, someone wants to know if you've had any ladies sliding your DMs since since you've
Oh
got out.
yeah, I've had a lot.
A lot.
You
All right.
know,
Well,
meeting new people is just kind of nerve wracking because of what happened to me. I'm paranoid that I'll go to meet up with someone and it's really not who they said they are, and it's someone who wants to do
Absolutely.
something,
Right.
and then I'm afraid I'll get put into a position because, you know, I was in the army. They taught me how to fight pretty well, and I just spent 3 years, fighting in jail, trying to stay alive. So I fear what I will have to do to someone. You know.
Right. And I can just imagine, especially. I mean, it's funny, like you say that. I started getting, like, I started posting your videos, and I could just imagine. I mean, I'm just a guy who's posting your videos, and the vitriol of these people who come at you, like, and it's like and then you respond to them, and like I said before, they know nothing about it. They've seen two headlines, and so
Yep.
like I could imagine, and some of them are probably like, "Hey Zach, I'm your friend," and then all of a sudden you're like, "Is this someone who's really my friend?" I don't know these people, so
Yeah.
um what was it like? Well, I think you just said what it was like. Babe, did you see any other questions, or did you have any other questions that we missed here? How smart is he knowing to resist? Yes, it will take a while to process everything and readjust. Shelly says you can't date anyone unless we meet them first, Zach. So, uh,
Yeah.
we
Then you get vetted and screened.
yeah, we got your back, dude. Anything, we're gonna do it. So hopefully, I hope you're. It might have just been you just have a new Cash App and it didn't work. So we'll
Yeah.
figure
Worst
that
case,
out.
I have someone who they didn't want me putting their information to the public because they don't want people to know that they're still helping me. But I could probably give it to you once this is done. And
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. And then we wouldn't publish it. We would just send to that for you.
yeah.
This is a good question that Liz has. Do you have a dream car?
Yes, I do actually.
What's that?
1999 Nissan GTR.
There you go, folks. You heard it here first.
If
Uh,
anybody has one of those they want to give to Zach,
I'm accepting donations.
he's accepting
exactly.
donations, folks. So let's get that.
See,
We'll get the money to him.
that's another thing. I worked my ass off to get the cars that I had. My dad, when I was about 14, and my dad had a Corvette. So he always did. So naturally, I grew up liking him. And I told him, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have one when I grow up. And my dad would always be like, no, you're not. So I told him, I was like, okay, you know, before I'm 17, I'll have one. That's why the Corvettes, they hold a special place in my heart because the satisfaction of FaceTiming my dad from the dealership when I bought one at 17 was, you know,
That's an awesome story, man. Thanks
it
thank you for sharing that with us. That's a great story.
sucks. I had to sell them all.
Uh, Antron says, "Tell Zach I said keep his head up and stay humble, brother." So we got you here. Um, so on guys on TikTok, he's trying to build his TikTok. Helps to like just comment and say, "Hey Zach," anything like that builds the algorithm. So, just comment, say hi, say we support you. Let him know, guys. Not only follow him on Instagram or TikTok, click on the buttons. You guys know what I say. Smash the buttons, say hi, and let him know.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I'm, I'm
how is? Go ahead.
trying to try and reach out to Fox News and see if you know, since they told the world, I was some piece of shit, trying to see if they'll allow me to come on there and really
I hope they will, but I bet they won't. I hope they will, but
tell yeah.
they'll quick to run that
They
you're
don't,
the murderer. Go ahead.
yeah, they don't know it yet, but they're about to have one hell of a lawsuit coming.
All right, well, good to hear that. I hope you get what you deserve with that. How's your step grandpa doing? Aaron is asking.
My grandfather, he's really like my dad. He's done more for me than my dad, and he's not even, related to blood for me. He's doing all right. He lost my grandma while I was locked up, and they were married for 20 years. And uh,
Well, he had a lot of people really when he testified. We all really thought he was great, and so
yeah,
Brian Enton, my list. Let's see what else we got. I think we might. I think that might be. Babe, did you have anything else that you wanted to?
think so. Oh, so this is a good question. Have you ever thought about writing a book?
I've been told by a lot of people in jail, once people sit down and get to know me, they'd always tell me to write a book, but I don't even know where to start.
Or maybe do a podcast with. We have some folks who do a podcast. Maybe he would come on and do a podcast because that might be
Yeah,
something you
so
could do.
starting, I, you know, need to get the right equipment.
Right.
Mhm.
Um, well, I believe whatever you want to do, Zach, if you put your mind to it, you can do it. We all have your back here, and we really, really appreciate you coming on with us and giving people.
I appreciate
Yeah, of course. So we wanted. Like I said in the beginning, this it must have been so friggin' hard for you to hear everyone else say everything they could about you, and you can't say a fucking word. That must have been like the
Yeah, that
one of
drove
the
me
hardest things.
crazy.
Right. Um, Can we start a GoFundMe? We'll work that out. By the way, when we talked to Christine, she said to look you up. I'm curious to know if you know. And someone had a GoFundMe that said they were like a friend of yours. It was a girl in Florida. Was that legit or that was not legit?
Uh,
Not okay. So all right. So guys, that was uh oh, there you go. That's Bob Mata, he has a huge podcast. So maybe we can hook you guys up. I'm sure he'd like to have you on. He's a good man. He's the defense attorney who asked you the question before. He's brilliant. He has a big podcast, so maybe we can hook you up and maybe we can get something there. I bet you his audience would probably want to hear you. So, and he does a lot of cases, so that would be awesome. If we could get that
that'd
together.
be nice.
Yeah, for sure. You can another place where you can get your story out. Yeah. Do you have Discord, by the way? If you want to, we have a community on Discord. If you want to join it with
Uh,
us, you're more than
I
welcome.
I can download one.
All right. Well, we have a community, and you will have I have a Patreon, and we charge people, but you will have an honorary role for free. You ever want to join us, you're in there. So it's a kind of like a cool chat room and stuff. People would love to talk to you. Oh yeah. By the way, Zach Snap is Z Latham 420. So, and like I told you, if you want, we have a nice shirt regarding 420. So if you want that, that's on us, Zach. We just
My birthday.
but just out of curiosity, since you've like been through a trial, do you like have you been paying attention to all this? And it's in Florida, this YNW Melly trial, or any other, or you don't want
I
to?
have.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
wild, huh?
yeah.
So, and now you've been. So I guess you have a new, appreciation just for the whole thing that you've been through it. Like you could tell what
That
Melly's going through.
that's the scariest thing I think anyone could do. Go through a trial, and anyone who says they're not, they're lying.
Right. And he's got the death penalty. That's an option there. So I mean, just welcome. So yeah, we call our group here J-Bo Nation. So welcome. I know you're tired. I can see you're tired. You're a hard worker, man. You've already worked. So I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah, I'm out here. We're working like a dog, trying to trying to get a car and support myself.
Absolutely, guys. So if it doesn't work with the Cash App, send it to me. Say it's for Zach, and we will get him the money. I got his information. We will get him the money. So Zach, thank you so much for coming on with us. You will always have an open welcome. Anytime you want to come on, you can come on. If you want to do a Discord and join us in the group, we'd love to have you there. But we got your back. Just know we have a ton of people who have your back. So, what was the second part of your question, Bob? I already sent you some money for Zach J. Looks like all the folks here are supporting you. So be safe, Zach. Thank you for talking to us. Bob is going to reach out. So Bob, the podcast, Bob, he's going to reach out to me. We'll get you guys
Okay.
together. Maybe you can do an
Any
episode.
reach out to me. I'll take my time and respond to everyone.
That's awesome, Zach. You're awesome, babe. Did you want anything else you wanted to say, babe?
No, I got to get off here. I'm going to cry, Zach. I'm so happy you didn't take a plea because you
So,
are innocent, and I'm so happy you're out of jail.
thank you. It means a lot.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. That is it. Have a good night. And if you send me the stuff, send it for Zach, and I will throw it out to him. Make sure if you can come back and look at the stream. The chat will be up, and you'll see all the support in the chat, Zach. So if you have a chat, look at the stream, and there's just a bunch of people in here just saying how much you're supported. So thank you so much, Zach, and have a good night, everybody.
Thank you to everyone else. Supporting me. It means a lot. 3 years, it was the complete opposite.
Exactly. Well, now just know, like we said, don't worry about the negative shit. We got your back. All right, Zach?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Good night, everyone. Thanks so much, everyone, for being here. See you tomorrow.